ready for 197 pounds. Number 1 seed, number 1 ranked, undefeated, 3-time All-American Kollin Moore going up against Eric Schultz, a junior, having himself quite a tournament. There's Kollin Moore, 3-time All-American, 2-time Big Ten champion, big-time freshman of the year, and boom, it goes like that, doesn't it, Jim? Here he is, a senior.
Yeah, it just seems like he was a freshman, just last year when he was wrestling Jaden Cox and going out there as a freshman and going out and taking the eventual world champion down a couple times, a 3-time national champion.
Here's how they got there. The number 1 seed, Kollin Moore, not having any problem at all, mowing down his opponents to the championship line. Eric Schultz gets a big win against Shakur Rashid, 4-3, and here they are, the number 1 and 2 seeds. Kollin Moore out of Burbank, Ohio, Norwayne High School. He was their first ever state champion. He's so close, Jim, for 3 years. Sophomore year, kind of a health issue. Junior year last year, a guy named Bo.
Yeah, it's just the matchups. When you have opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. Again, you mentioned the injury problems. The number 1 seed is sophomore year, the national tournament, and then a guy by the name of Kyle Connell showed up that was unseeded and just had a tremendous national tournament and at the expense of Kollin Moore. But this Eric Schultz cat, he's one of the reasons why you see Nebraska with 131 points and a 23-point lead over Ohio State at the time and lead over Penn State. I mean, that Husker team has had a solid performance up and down. They've had a great dual meet season. They've been competitive. They've gone into a lot of arenas and had some big wins. They had a little bit of ups and downs, but they're the type of team that we're always been wondering all year, who's going to be the 3rd and 4th place team collecting trophies. To think that Penn State really has an opportunity to do that, but the way they've wrestled today, who knows? They might be competitive here beyond what that 4th place team trophy.
They're going to go back to Lincoln, Nebraska with a lot of excitement and a lot of work because they're going to have their eye on the prize. Top 4 get trophies, and like you said, they're going to be thinking more than a 4th place trophy. Eric Schultz, the redshirt junior here, you're looking at it on the left, a 2-time NCAA qualifier, hasn't been on the podium yet. He's from Tinley Park, Illinois. He was a state champion at Tinley Park High School. He's also all-state football. What I like about him, he pushes the pace. He's a horse.
He is. He's a very strong wrestler. Loves to work off that right-handed underhook. He wants to dig his own right hand up there underneath Moore. The thing is that Moore has an answer for that here. He's got a sequence that he can attack to both sides. He can go below the knee. He's got a beautiful little barrel set up there off of his low ankle shot. We've watched him so many times that you just get excited about his development as an athlete. And one of those guys I think you just miss. You know you're going to miss watching a guy like that, and hopefully he can compete well at the next level so you continue to see him develop.
Well, he's been an attack machine, changes level, creates angles, but for so many years, until this year, he had Kyle Snyder as a practice partner.
Did you see that? That was sweet. Beautiful duck under, well-timed. Perfect answer to that underhook situation.
He said it before, he's one of the captains. Also, we talked about the black shirt. He's just the kind of guy that Tom Ryan wants. He says, my job's to come out and get after it. Got to give a lot of energy, score early, bring it on. And that's just how he thinks. And like I said, been so close for 3 years to getting to the top of the podium at the NCAAs. And it looks like this is the year.
Well, whenever we would do an Ohio State meet, the first guys that would come out to the mat together were Luke Pletcher and Kollin Moore. These guys are tight. I don't know if they live around each other or whatever, but take a look at Kollin Moore on this beautiful takedown right now. He's
Red choice.
Up underneath, duck under.
Red's going down.
Just catches Schultz leaning into him.
And John and Julie Moore from Burbank, Ohio, like what they see right now with their son going for another Big Ten title and to keep his record unblemished, undefeated. Kollin Moore.
When you see one of your teammates go out there and win a title,
like he did,
and of course, avenging a loss from earlier this season, you go out there with a lot of confidence and you're fired up for your team. You're happy for your teammate. And that's the space that Kollin Moore is living in right now.
Yeah, Kollin Moore has gone wire to wire as the most targeted 197-pounder in the country, from the preseason #1 to the top dog entering the postseason.
You see those scores on the bracket: 18 points, 16 points. And of course, you get to the finals, it's a 6-0 win, takedown, 2 escapes, or 2 takedowns, an escape, and riding time is about the equivalent of putting 18 points up when you get in the finals. But there's a way to doing that.
50 seconds left in the second period. Another thing, Kollin Moore has higher aspirations. He's already qualified for the Olympic trials at 86 kilos. A little lighter than what he's wrestling right now, which is around 189 pounds. Of course, the Olympic trials hosted by USA Wrestling at Penn State, Bryce Jordan Center, April 4th and 5th. They're sold out. And one final qualifier for that is every NCAA champion, if you haven't qualified, does qualify for the Olympic trials a couple of weeks after at Penn State. End of the second period. A shutout being thrown by Kollin Moore, the #1 seed, undefeated, and he's unscored upon now going into the third period.
Good look at Tervel Vlagnov there. He's talking to his man about coming up over the top with those snap downs. See if he can get Schultz leaning in towards him. Blood timeout.
Tyler Berger in the middle there. He was in these finals last year. And now an assistant coach. Robert Kokesh had some of the most exciting Big Ten matches.
That was a fantastic weight. 174, Kokesh, Evans, Storley.
They had some battles.
Yeah.
And he's come off the farm and come back from South Dakota and come back to join Mark Manning.
Looking forward to
done
seeing
a great job.
Looking forward to seeing Robert Kokesh's dad at the national tournament. He'll go out of his way and talk about how much he loves the Big Ten Network and seeing all the matches and fun guy to be around.
That's exactly. I saw him at one of the dual meets, and he's still a little upset about son leaving the farm though.
Yeah.
He says it's a lot of work for me, and I'm missing him. Right now, Kollin Moore having his way with Eric Schultz, who's fought his way into the finals. It's the #2 seed. Excited about what's in store for him and the entire Nebraska Husker team. Talking to Kollin Moore about being a captain, and he just said, I'm letting the freshmen and the young guys know I'm there for them. He says it's about servant leadership, no pressure on my teammates. I'm trying to grow as a leader, and I want them to know I'm there for them. And that's just an awesome perspective that when the seniors and the captains have it, and they're not lording it over them, Jim, that's a pretty awesome culture.
Well, what you've described there, Tim, and I know that you bring up great points, but the wrestling room all across the country at the high school level, junior high level, certainly at the college level, is such a great leadership laboratory. And we're a very inclusive sport. You take a look what's happening in these college wrestling programs right now, wrestling clubs, RTCs, the efforts that these guys are putting in, the inclusion of some of the women's athletes that are part of it too, and people that anybody can go ahead and go out there and wrestle, and we're going to be great examples of that coming up at the Nationals, and it's a great thing to be a part of, but it's really great to see when it's done well.
And Kollin Moore has done it well for a career. The tunnel's narrowing, the time is now, and he is focused.
Got those fingers. Got the fingers.
I'll tell you what, he would take a match just like this in 13 days in the finals. Didn't necessarily show his whole arsenal, but in complete control. And that's what's so amazing about this Look at the offense that he's still showing with 20 seconds left. Really emptying the tank, but also being smart.
Kollin Moore stepping in. 5 seconds left to his third Big Ten title. From Big Ten Freshman of the Year to a 3-time Big Ten champion. Kollin Moore, the second Buckeye to win a championship. His co-captain, Luke Pletcher, and now Kollin Moore, the champion.
Take a look at one of those. As Kollin goes through the O-high-O. Look at this beautiful duck under right there. And to the side that Eric Schultz likes to duck under. Parents are happy. And would like to be feeling the same thing in about 13 days.
Let's go to Shane, who's with Kollin.
All right, Kollin, not so many guys win 3 Big Ten titles. What are you most proud of in the way you've represented yourself in Ohio State?
You know, just trying to stay consistent as possible, trying to be a leader on the team has really helped me just grow in my wrestling, in my life. So extremely thankful for my coaches, my family and fans, everyone who's helped me, you know, been an example to me. So.
You're a 3-time All-American. What'll be key to get atop the podium in Minneapolis?
Just being consistent. I've been telling myself before every match this year, expect to fight. I expect to fight and overcome it. So I'm ready for anything anybody throws at me. I'm ready for it this year.
Congratulations, rare air 3-time Big Ten champion Kollin Moore.